First on BBC2 Golf for all standards and for those with disabilities. If you want to play, here's Peter Alliss.
Well, here we are again on yet another practice ground. All the hopefuls behind me, smacking away, hoping to learn another bit of golfing magic. Did you notice the group at the other end of the driving range? 3 of them lined up there. An interesting group indeed. Well, now, let me tell you about them. Andy Robinson in the shorts there with the magnificent legs, born with 1 arm, plays off a handicap of 10, or as he prefers, 9.8, and that little bit of extra makes all the difference in the world. Next to him, we've got George Roberts, who's here for a very special reason, George. He's the minder of our 3rd player, Ron Alfrey. Now, Ron cannot see. He's started losing his sight 9 or 10 years ago, but he plays off a handicap of 23. George plays off 19, and he's his guide, helper, ball steerer, and altogether, these 3 are a very interesting group indeed. I think we're going to be enthralled by watching them, and of course young Bob Legan is one of the senior instructors with John Jacobs, and Bob's concentrating on tee and fairway shots in preparation for a playoff later on today at Osprey Ridge.
Held that club, still holding it a bit too tight. Okay, go ahead and address that golf ball. Now I'm going to move your grip underneath to the right. And the reason we're doing that is to get the club face at a better position when it meets the golf ball. And after the backswing, you just need to feel as though this is happening. That will, as well as combine with the grip, square the club face so the ball flies on a straight line. Ever so relaxed with the grip. Please don't hold it so tight. Watch the grip. Good try. Good try. Now that was the exact opposite.
Yeah.
Come on up again. I'll make you feel the difference between incorrect and correct. Take your grip, and we move the grip underneath there.
Yeah.
Now this would be the incorrect way when the club comes in this way. That's what you did last time.
Yeah.
Correct way feels the opposite with the club head
That way.
meeting the ball first. And as I'm doing this, you're still holding it a bit too tight, so ever so relaxed. Almost like spaghetti hands. There you go. After a backswing, feel that that takes place.
Right.
Good.
I'll just have a practice.
Yeah. Relaxing of the hands will be at least 50% of it. That's right. That's right. Oh, if the practice swings would count, George.
They always do. It's the ball that spoils it.
All right, George, lined up all right?
Yes.
Excellent.
That's a beauty.
Excellent.
That
Good
felt
for you.
better. That felt better.
One more, and I'm going to move on to Andy.
Right.
Always coming and reminding you. Ever so relaxed with the hands to feel the club swish.
Swish through.
Swish through the ball. And as I held that club, still holding it a bit too tight.
Okay.
Yeah. Real relaxed with the hands. Real relaxed. And always keep in mind the grip needs to be a little bit more over here to the right to allow the club face to meet the ball in a better position. Now, after the grip is changed, you need to feel relax the hands and let the hands do most of the work in the downswing. Oh, if you were to do this, we'd be in business. Just like that.
Too much tension.
Yeah, very much so, even when I'm doing it with you. That's the idea there.
Right.
That's the idea. George, you've got him trained and lined that ball up. It's amazing how he
Well,
does that.
it's all right as long as I don't have to move around a lot.
Yeah. Ever so relaxed this time.
It's when he walks up to it, he misses it.
That felt better. That felt better.
Next to the hole.
Now from overhead, the overhead camera, Bob trying to get Ron to relax, use his swing, let the club head find the ball like that. Beautifully struck. Great stuff.
Andy, how's it going?
Hi, Bob. Nice to see you. Not too bad. Not too bad. A little bit right to left. I'll prone to the occasional hook, actually.
Disastrous, usually, isn't it?
Oof, yes.
Excellent. 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 One more. One more. I'd like to see the hook. Not intentionally, of course. Good. Excellent.
You could just
Excellent.
see the trace of it, I think, a little bit on that one.
Excellent.
Now our overhead camera will give us a very good impression of Andy's wide backswing, but just look at the follow-through, right through. Great stuff.
Back here just for a brief moment.
Certainly.
I'm going to explain what's happening. There really is, to be very, very simple and very basic, only two elements to a golf swing. And the ball, as you see, is way down on the ground, so the arms and club have to swing up and down. Now the ball is, as well as it being on the ground, it's off to the side of me. So there has to be an arc of swing that goes from side to side. Well, how the swing goes from side to side is the shoulders turn back, and the hips as well in the forward swing turn through. So we need both elements. Now the fact you're hitting too much ground tells us that the shoulder's working too high and too low. Okay? And what we're going to do to fix the shoulder movement is in the address, just raise the chin up ever so much, and an inch makes all the difference. If my posture is down, it makes the shoulders work this way and this way, resulting in crashing the ground.
Yeah.
If I lift my chin up and I exaggerate the point by doing this, I work ever so nicely, more horizontally, if you will. This motion here drives the ball forward. This motion here, as you can see, will drive all the power and energy into the ground. So right off the bat, we're going to come up and just adjust the posture, and I'm going to make you feel just a little bit of a turn in the backswing. Have a go.
Okay. Okay.
And if the ball hooks, which I haven't seen it hook so much as of yet, we'll just adjust the grip.
Okay.
You just let me know when you're all ready to go. But don't swing.
Okay.
That's great. Chin up, that's a great spot for the chin. This turns ever so slightly behind you, and then you just turn through over in that direction.
Okay.
Just think, turn twice. Ah. Less ground, more ball.
Yeah, certainly. It's quite
Excellent.
sweet.
Excellent. Excellent. Chin up just a hair. Shoulder turns horizontally behind you, just a little bit. Great, great. Now, that's a good golf shot, but the ball's hooking a little bit to the left.
Yep.
Here, I'm going to explain to you exactly why it's hooking to the left. Now, those are great backswings, and what tells us they're great backswings is the club is now meeting the golf ball on a more solid, level angle. It's not so much up and down into the ground. So the backswing's quite good. But after a good backswing, and I'll illustrate with just my left arm, if I tend to slide my hips this way, they get almost stuck in the way, and they get stopped, so to speak. Well, the club face, it never stops in golf. It goes very quickly through the ball and closes quite rapidly. That makes the club face close too quickly, resulting in a golf ball that hooks to the left dramatically.
Right.
And the problem comes is when your mind sees the ball hooked to the left, that plugs into your body's muscles, and the muscles now say to drive underneath more this way. Now we're going to block it to the right. So the whole ball of wax combined is good posture, meaning taller chin, shoulder turns behind you, and then as the club swings down under the ball, the left hip pocket's going to keep moving to find the other side of the golf swing. Okay? It would never be a sliding, driving under action. It's always a level or a hip turning through over on this side. That'll square the club face up.
Right.
Have a go. Just going to readjust the grip a little bit. Good. Left thumb not so much on this side, but left thumb almost straight down the shaft.
Really?
Now that'll feel really weird. But you know what?
Feels very weak.
When you have the same exact golf swing, the club face will not be looking this way. The club face will not be looking dead square. So grip straight down the center. This turns away, and you turn through over on that side of the golf swing. If you top it, it's my fault. Right. Now, too much ground tells you too much rocking
Yeah.
and blocking action with the shoulders working this way, and this way, as opposed to tall posture, shoulder turns behind, hips turn through. There we go. That feels terrible, I understand. Right there. This turns, this moves over that way as the hip keeps moving. Turn away and turn through. Excellent. Excellent.
You know, sometimes I wonder as I tiptoe into old age how much further and how many more changes will be made in the world of golf course architecture. Many, many moons ago, golf courses, the great golf courses, were made on beautiful parcels of land, cut through old pine forests. Of course, they were built with, by hand virtually, and a plough and old mules pulling a few wagons along in the background, very different from the great earth-moving equipment of today. Things have definitely changed. Take this course here in the background, Eagle Pines on the Walt Disney World Resort. Pete Dye Golf Course. Now, Pete Dye, I think, is one of the most imaginative architects in the golfing world today. Look at all these fairways here, or what we would call at home pine needles. They call it pine straw. So, to create something different, he's coated the sides of the fairway with pine needles. And just look at the way he's created the golf course, meandering through the sort of groves of trees and all the many waterways. Certainly looks different. The colour looks different. And, well, Pete Dye continuing his reputation of being the modern Picasso. What about the clubhouses? I was brought up in the smell of good old log fires burning or anthracite in the winter times, and old magazines lying about, even older than those that we found in the dentist's waiting room. Nowadays, well, they're all glass and glitter. How about this one here? Now, this will take us back, some of us back, to those days in the 30s when Art Nouveau and Art Deco were all the rage. I wonder if this will stand the passing of time, rather like the clubhouse at Royal Birkdale has for 60 or 70 years or so. What a colour, what a shape, what a design. Is it functional? Well, they seem to think so. I'm not too sure about the colour scheme. And what about pro shops? How well I remember my dear old dad and the Wickham brothers and Henry Cotton, who was a much grander figure perhaps in those far-off times, mooching about in their pro shops, the smell of the glue pot burning away in the back, the smell of leather as they re-gripped the clubs, and the shop full of clubs where people used to come and tinker about, and again an ashtray full of tab ends and the smell of tobacco, and oddly enough a few little cheeky words of bad language when somebody came in with not a very good score on their card. Nowadays, they're glorious palaces. No longer dozens and dozens of sets of golf clubs to sell, just the occasional special putter or special chipper, or that magical driver that's going to make you hit another 50 or 60 yards. Things change, and I suppose they always will. Much of it I like, some of it I'm not too sure about. All I know is, as I sit here looking over the new Eagle Pines course, it really is different. A lot of golfers complain that the only time they see ground under repair areas clearly marked is either on Captain's Day or when there's some other great competition about to take place on their golf courses. But greenkeepers use it a lot to mark areas where they've reseeded, returfed, where they're repairing areas where much traffic has gone by in the weeks before. Now, if you're in an area like this, ground under repair, you must, I repeat, must pick away. No penalty is incurred, 1 club length. Now, Greg could have used a driver, but he's got plenty of room to drop the ball and swing. You see, he put a T-peg down there to mark the limit of the 1 club. He drops it, nice clear spot, no penalty incurred, on he goes. You know, years ago, this is the way everyone played golf. Well, apart from a few that could afford a caddy, but in those days it was what, 25 cents a round or just a few pennies. Then along came the pull cart, around about 1950, I suppose. One saw those trolleys being pulled along behind, which took a lot of the weight off poor old golfers' shoulders. And then along came a powered caddy. Not only was it a cart, but it had power added to it. So with a little turn of the wrist, off you went. No stress and strain on the shoulder, a thing of sheer delight. What a wonderful innovation, the Power Caddy. And then, when you think you've seen it all, lo and behold, you haven't. Along comes this little beauty. What's so special about this? This little box of tricks here, the little remote controller. You walk away looking all nonchalant-like, and then you turn, you just aim it. Off she goes. Well, she's thinking about it. Now, just watch this. Come on, come along, you little beauty. Come along to Daddy. Come along, come along. And there you have it. Now, what could be simpler than that? Well, of course, if electronic gadgets aren't your cup of tea, and perhaps the old hips are a bit bad, this has been the life savior of many golf clubs, many golfers, and many particularly who are perhaps getting on in years and have the joy of riding around. They still love to hit the ball, but unfortunately can't walk. These are the most expensive ones of all, running into several $1,000s. You can get petrol-driven or gasoline-driven or electric batteries, take your choice. But these really have become giant money spinners, particularly in resort courses and particularly, I suppose, in the United States of America, although they are catching on in the UK and certainly throughout Europe. You sit on, you lean back, all your goodies in the back here, press your foot on the accelerator, and off you go. Here, caddy, caddy, here, caddy, caddy. What have been your experiences, Ron, of disabled people being members of particularly a golf club? Any problems?
Well, for myself, I was very fortunate, really, because I'd been a member of Rutan for a number of years before my sight started to go, so there was no real problem about me continuing as a member. In fact, providing the members are prepared to play with me, then they're quite happy for me to be there. But I know for a fact from people that have been in touch that there is a problem with disabled people joining golf clubs. In particular, there was a guy down in the south of England who was a member of a golf club for a number of years, some 20 years, and when his sight started to go, he was actually asked to leave, which I thought he was very upset about it, and you know,
Well, the thinking being what?
Well, apparently, the thinking was that he would be a bit of a danger to the rest of the people on the course, you know, that he would not be able to see where other people were, and he would tend to be playing up and playing through them rather than waiting till they cleared. But I couldn't really see the point, because if his sight was that bad that he couldn't play on his own, then the people that were with him could say, well, look, hang on, you can't go yet, wait until the people have cleared. Mm. I thought it was rather petty, really, and showed no understanding of people with a disability.
No, I suppose if somebody has had sight and it gradually starts to dwindle, there must be a moment when you need help from people like yourself. Now, you've been sort of getting worse and worse. You're now virtually blind after a period of 9 or 10 years. Do you find yourself helping people?
People, they don't want to be treated as disabled people. They just want to be treated as people that happen to have a disability.
Yeah,
they still want to play their sport, and I think they ought to be helped as much as possible.
Does your wife play golf?
She doesn't, no.
Does she understand your funny little ways then?
Well, she's got used to it over the years, you know, because I've played for 25 years, and my son plays to quite a good standard. She enjoys walking around the golf club. She brings the dog round and she walks around with me, but after sort of a strange few experiences in guiding for me, she doesn't really enjoy it.
Oh, she guided for you once or twice,
well, yeah, it was quite strange. We played, you know, Leeds Castle golf course.
Yes, round the wonderful castle at Leeds.
Absolutely superb. So we get up on the first green, on the first hole, a long par 4. They've changed it since, but this at the time was long par 4 that skirted the moat. And I hit 2 quite good shots, and I was, you know, reasonably near the green. And I said to Maureen, how far is it now to the flag? So she says, oh, I've no idea of distances. I said, well, you must have some idea. She said, well, it's as far as from our back door to the greenhouse, which I thought was great because I knew the distance, but everybody else thought was hilarious. So, providing I don't hit the ball farther than the length of our garden, we're okay.
Oh, well, I'll drink to that.
Yeah.
It's as far as from our back door to the greenhouse.
To the greenhouse, that was
well,
it.
Ron, long
yes.
may you continue to enjoy this funny old game.
Thank you. Well, I love it, Peter.
Well, that's obvious.
Thank you. Yeah.
Obvious to us all. Well, this is it, the moment of truth. Here we stand on the 18th tee at Osprey Creek. Magnificent new golf course, and I must confess, it looks a bit frightening for anyone young of years and who can see and has got both arms. I've never seen quite so many bunkers littered all ahead. A creek, river on the right-hand side, a very formidable hole indeed. Slight dogleg left to right, and this is a big, big test, and I think we're going to put Andy up first. Andy, what do you think? First look at that.
Pretty intimidating, Peter.
Yeah.
Yes.
What do you think? Up the left there?
Oh, I think it's definitely going to be up the left, yes.
Up the well, there's hardly a square inch that's not got sand in it. So
No.
go and do your best, my boy.
That's the
Have you got
theory.
your ball? Got a bit of ammunition?
Certainly have, yes. And a bit
Go
of
on,
timber to
then.
tee it up on.
Good job you can't see this, Ron.
Yeah.
Good job you can't see this, I tell you.
I was sorry you mentioned about the bunkers.
Hey.
Oh, that's a good drive. Not bad, not
Good
bad at
job.
all.
Good
On
going.
you go.
Better come over.
Good hit. Very good
Yeah.
shot,
Thank you.
Andy.
I have a practice
Please
swing,
come
George.
round here a touch.
Take it there.
Okay?
Yep.
All right, George?
Yep, as you are.
That'll do. Well
Wow.
done, Ron.
All right.
All right.
I hit the ground, didn't
Touch
I?
of the Arnold
No.
Palmer's there, a bit of divot. He's the only man I know that ever smashed him with a bit
Is
of
it
divot
right?
with a driver.
Yeah.
He wasn't a bad performer. That's good. Come on.
Ah, good.
Let's hit it while you're mad. Ron Alfrey is a member of the English Blind Golf Society, which was set up about 10 years ago, and it's amazing just how popular golf has become for the disabled. And its growth, believe it or not, is keeping pace with the general boom in the game. And we should, I feel, give them our total support. Well now, this doesn't look too bad. There's so many bunkers on this hole. If we can get Ron over this first wedge of sand and play up there, I reckon he can get on comfortably for 3. So just line him up on just left of that far
Right.
bunker, George, eh?
Yeah.
Go on, you take over.
Let's give it a go then, George. I'll have a couple of practice swings, if I may, just to get myself relaxed.
Couple of swings, that's good. What was the lowest handicap you ever got down to, Ron?
15 was my lowest.
15. And you've also had a hip replacement?
I've had them both done, yes, the
Have
left
you?
and the right.
You're a
yes.
walking miracle then.
Yes.
You wait till it's too short.
Yeah. I had fun going through the barriers at airports, you know.
As you are.
Okay then, George.
Now, just a nice swing, straight through, Ron.
Right.
Okay.
Oh, well done. That's a cracking shot.
Confusing, my boy?
Right.
Absolutely perfect. That was very nice, Ron. Very nice. I think you might need that little club again, but you should
Yeah,
get on or
yeah.
very close with your next shot.
Well, here we are, Andrew. Great drive. Gosh, I couldn't have done better myself.
Thanks, Bob.
A little bit of wind into our face. Ball looks to be in a bit of a downhill lie and looks to be about 155 yards or so, wouldn't you agree?
Yeah, I guess so. And the downhill lie will take a bit of the loft off the club, so
Yeah.
maybe a little less club needed than normal.
Maybe a mid-iron, 6 or 5?
I think I'll try with the 6 even on
Yeah.
this one.
Let's give it a go.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe a bit of a crosswind as well. Maybe take a little bit left to right.
Yeah, certainly. Especially with the creek beckoning on the right.
Yeah. Aiming point maybe left corner of the green.
Yep, I reckon so.
That's good. Yeah. Oh, you'll enjoy that one. Oh, great shot. Great shot. That one.
I could do that every time.
Well done.
Must be the pro round, does the trick.
Now then, we've got to do something a bit special here, young Ron.
Right.
Hey, after that lovely shot of Andy. Now, George, this is going to call on all your expertise. What do you think? Now, you've only got about 145, 140 yards to go. What do you got here?
What have you got, George?
Little seven?
Seven.
Right. Well, you've got to grip it down the shaft a little bit.
Right.
You know, just take a little bit of the strength out of it. And the wind's quite fresh.
Yep.
And it's a big green. Flag's fairly well on the front today. So you don't baby it. Don't be afraid of it. Just because at the worst, you'll go to the back of the green. Oh, it could hold if it just catches the edge of the green. Well done. Just on the back right. Not bad. Just a little bit of a push. Bad. No, it wasn't too bad. Just hold on a minute, because I'll have to help you out. You were on the edge of the bunker. Hang on a second and wait for George. I'll just repair your pitch mark, as all good golfers should. See, if you repair your own and somebody else's inside of 3 days, there aren't any pitch marks. What are the main points, Ron, for you as far as putting is concerned? I mean,
I mean, if there's a borrow, he'll line me up to the borrow, not to the flag, because I can't see the flag.
Yeah.
The main thing is the distance and the pace, really, just to get the pace right.
Right. So what are you going to
What
tell
I would
him?
normally do is pace it to the flag for him,
Yeah.
Step it out.
come back, tell him what it is, and then line him up.
Yeah, well,
Go on then, off
On
you
that
go. Off you go. So now George is pacing it out. Now, I must tell you, there's quite a big swing, at least
is there?
3 or 4
Yeah.
feet from the right. So we'll be aiming him up on the right-hand side,
Right to
and
left.
it's over the ridge
Over
and
here.
down.
Yeah.
And I would think it's fairly fast.
Fairly fast.
You know, you're going uphill a little bit, and then sort of around. How far is it, George?
26.
26? 26 paces, is it?
Okay.
Okay. It's about right, yeah?
Yep.
Right.
Well,
A
that's
bit
a
too far.
very good speed. What a wonderful putt. Oh, that's brilliant.
Good.
You got it 4 or 5 feet away.
Thank you, Josh.
Great putt. Great putt.
Ah, good.
Oh, what a
Oh,
good
hurry.
putt, Andy.
Hurry up.
Oh, a lovely touch.
Well done.
Wonderful
Thank you.
touch. Tap him in.
Well done.
I'll
you
give
very
you
much.
that, really, but the folks back home like to see. They just like to watch the magic stroke. He wouldn't give very
Well
good.
done.
He wouldn't give it to Ron, no. Well, you got that for a half, young man.
Right. Okay, George, what do you think?
Medium fast in there. You've
Yeah.
only got 5.5, 6 feet to go. 5.5
Okay.
feet or so.
Right, 5 foot
All right.
stroke it in.
I don't
Magic.
believe it.
Okay.
Hold on.
Well done.
Thank you,
Well
Magic.
done.
Right. Good job, guys.
Thank you.
Well, how about that?
George.
I don't know whether we'll be able to match that in future programs, but it just shows you something of the human race's indomitable spirit. These two boys here have played wonderfully well today, and I hope you've enjoyed it and you've learned something. So until we meet again, bye-bye. I've got to buy them beers now. Right. Come on, lads, you deserve a beer. Yeah. You might deserve 2 beers, or even one of those clear drinks that makes your legs go funny.
Tips for the new enthusiast and the seasoned player alike in this BBC video. Play better golf.
It is true.